Hi, this video will provide an overview of how to subtract signed numbers. This is the note sheet from your class where you wrote the notes how to subtract signed numbers as a review from 6th grade. I'll provide some examples here in this video. So we're talking about how to subtract signed numbers, positive and negative numbers. So here will be the first example. Negative 15 minus negative 45. It's important to keep in mind the difference between the operation and the sign of the numbers. So here I see the operation as subtraction, and I see that I have two negative numbers. So I'm subtracting two negative numbers. The process you learned in 6th grade was to change it to an addition problem by stay, change, change. You went into a lot of detail in 6th grade as to the reason behind this. I'm not going to go into that in this video. See your teacher if you want more information about this. But that means the first number stays the same. You change the subtraction to addition, and then you change the sign of the second number. So I've changed it to an addition problem. Now I'm going to use my rules for addition from your notes sheet. There's also a video on how to add signed numbers if you want to watch that. Here I'll see that I'm adding two numbers with different signs, so I'm going to subtract the numbers off on the side. 45 minus 15 is 30. I look at the numbers ignoring the signs and decide which one's bigger. 45 is bigger, so I use the sign of that number to get positive 30. We'll do one more example. Here I'm going to have negative 16 minus 50. I want to make sure I have an operation and signs on the numbers. Here I see the operation is subtraction. I see this is negative and there's no sign on the 50. When a number doesn't have a sign, we remember that that's positive. So I'm going to rewrite this question as negative 16 minus positive 50. So now I can clearly see that subtraction is the operation and the signs of the numbers are negative and positive. I'll rewrite it doing stay, change, change. So this gives stay, change to addition, and change this to negative 50. I'm now in addition world, so I use these rules, the addition rules. I'm adding numbers with the same sign, so I'd add the numbers. 16 plus 50 is 66, and I keep the sign when they're the same. I'm going to do one last example here. Example 3. 5 1/5 minus 12 2/3. I look for the signs and the operations. I see a subtraction operation, but I don't see any signs. We know when there's no signs, they're positive numbers. I'm going to rewrite this with the signs. 5 1/5, positive 5 1/5 minus positive 12 2/3. Now I can clearly see this is a subtraction with two positive numbers. I'll rewrite it doing stay, change, change. Stay 5 1/5 plus negative 12 2/3. I'm now adding numbers with different signs, so I ignore the signs and subtract the numbers. 12 2/3 minus 5 1/5. Common denominator of 15. There's another video on how to subtract mixed numbers if you forget that. 3 times 5 is 15, 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 1 times 3 is 3. This gives me 7 7/15. I now have to decide on the sign of the number. I ignore the signs and find the bigger one. Here the 12 2/3 is bigger, so I bring down the negative sign and make it negative 7 7/15. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. If you have follow-up questions, go see your math teacher.